Hello, I am Nanang Suprayogi and my colleague Nanda Safira from Binus University, Indonesia, and also Isam Nusbah from the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia. Today we will present the presentation about Education 4.0 and its problem in Indonesian school. Let my colleague Nanda Safira continue the presentation.
Hello, my name is Nanda Safira from Indonesian University, Indonesia. As we know, we are facing the era of the Generation 4.0 Industrial Revolution, which is centered on human, machine, information, and communication technology, which cannot be separated from various sectors of life. This new era also affects in education. Based on this, the government must be ready to help improve the quality of human research in education by preparing a new orientation and literacy in the field of education. Meanwhile, the quality of education in Indonesia need to be improved. The result of PISA study show that Indonesian student achievement on PISA is low. Furthermore, there are three principles that need to be considered and applied in facing the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Are competency-based education, the Internet of Things, and the artificial intelligence. In response, to Education 4.0, the people who work in education must also literate with technology so they are able to apply it in teaching and learning activities. Also, the student have the this also the student have the responsibility to learn well and try their hardest so the learning outcomes are achieved well. It is necessary to dig and pay attention to information from various aspects which will be very useful in facing and following Education 4.0 in the future. The things that need to be considered are divided into three discussions: is teaching competence, student competence, and infrastructure competence. Theoretical background is Education 4.0 is education that is influenced by the 4.0 Industrial Revolution, characterized by education that makes more use of digital and cyber system, and in the learning process. There are 9 aspects of the tendency related to Education 4.0. Are first, learn with flexible time and place. Individual learnings, students have choice in determining how they learn. Project-based learning, field experience, data interpretation, multiple assessment, student involvement, and mentoring. Problems in Indonesian school. Education and learning that are loaded with knowledge content overriding the load of attitudes and skill as currently implemented will result in students who are unable to compete with machine. The elements of this course that need attention according to research are teacher is a set of knowledge, skill, and behavior that must be possessed and mastered by a teacher in carrying out his professional duties. Student. Education 4.0 is required to make students who have competencies that answer the needs of Industry 4.0. Student must have the motivation to learn by utilizing existing facilities. The infrastructure. Educational facilities are all equipment, materials, and furniture that are directly used in the educational process in school. Education 4.0, where learning use more technology, it is hoped that the tools or media used are as needed. The method. The research method used in this research is qualitative, which surveys research strategy, and the participant in total we have 858 from Sumatra, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, West Nusa Tenggara, East Nusa Tenggara, and Papua. The researcher measured the reliability by doing interoperability and got the highest number of the problem category. The measurement of interoperability result the coefficient is high. The result. Here we have the teacher problems category table. the frequencies of teacher problems category from each region. And the frequencies of teacher problems indicate that inappropriate of teaching methods are the problem that many teacher choose with 223 vote, and following by lack of competence with 76 vote. And this is the student problems category, and the frequencies of student problems category from each region. And it is the frequencies of student problems category indicate that lack of motivation that indicate that lack of motivation was the problem that many teachers choose with 197 vote, and following by lack of interest with 156 vote. And this is the infrastructure problems category, and the frequencies of infrastructure problems category by each region. And the frequencies of infrastructure problems category indicate that inadequate of infrastructure are was the problem that many teachers choose with 276 vote, following with lack of technology media, following by lack of technology media with 136 vote. This question: inappropriate of teaching methods. Appropriate teaching methods should be prepared well so the learning objective can be achieved optimally. The importance of teaching methods that will affect involvement in the learning process, academic outcomes, and learning styles. Lack of competence. Competence refers to the ability to do a job that is obtained through education because they have the competence to be able to master knowledge, skill, attitudes, and can be reflected in thinking and acting when performing tasks and jobs. Lack of student interest. Interest is a feeling of preference and attachment to something or activity without being told. Interest is basically the acceptance of relationship between oneself and something outside oneself. The stronger, or closer the relationship is, the greater the interest. Lack of student motivation. Motivation is something that causes you to work, keep you going, and determines where you are trying to work. Motivation can be distinguished between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Lack of technology media. Learning innovation carried out in the development of digital information technology is to take advantage of information technology facilities and that are rapidly developing in the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 to improve the quality of education, of learning. Inadequate infrastructure. Facilities and infrastructure are the tool or part that has a very important role for the success and smoothness of the process, including the scope of education. Conclusion. Based on this, it can be concluded that there are several problems that are being or will be faced, namely inappropriate teaching methods and lack of competence from the teachers problems category, lack of student interest and lack of student motivation by student problems category, lack of technology media and inadequate infrastructure from the infrastructure category. From this reason, various efforts to handle and prevent them are needed for each category. For example, training for teachers, teaching methods that are attractive to students, and the provision and equitable infrastructure will be very helpful for facing education 4.0 in the future. That's all my presentation. Thank you.